Greetings and welcome back to another episode of 1320 Time Stream, where we're going to be covering the 9th day of our Red Moon Wave spell, specifically the Red Solar Earth. Now here's a little bit of information on the Red Solar Earth outside of our conversation about it. And now we're going to get into our breath, which is going to be our coordinates here for the Red Solar Earth are going to be in our left elbow and our left middle toe. Left elbow, left middle toe on the out breath. Begin. Okay, a couple nice breaths outwards through that combination. So let's get into it a little bit. Okay, so we are now in that 4-day corridor of the formalizing of action. We've identified for the first 4 days, we really initiated the energy of taking command, and now we're going to formalize action, starting with navigating intention. So I find it really interesting how those two kind of like if you look at the warrior, the one day right before this, and today, they both kind of have that question marky energy, which is kind of that motion or spiral, sometimes considered thought, sometimes considered the motion of sexual energy. There's a couple of different kind of dynamics around it, but it's definitely a motion of energy. And so yesterday we kind of have that dynamic that its energy is moving into integrity. And so today that nature is moving into intention. And so it's like intention is very much like the energy that, I almost want to say it's the dynamic formed from integrity. And so it's like there has to be an aspect of integrity for there to actually be intention, or the power of intent. And so it's like the earth in this respect is like the complex blueprint that is producing the navigation of intent, as well as it's like the energy of intent is working through a complex blueprint. Or to say that there's many very interesting avenues that the intent kind of penetrates to have a unique effect, really enhancing that integrity. And so it's almost like the integrity in some way is an unseen quality, which then coupled with the nature of intent, then tomorrow the planetary tone becomes perfection or manifestation, right? And so we have this kind of, like if you just go even one day more before that, you have the resonant tone, which is the channeling of energy. This energy channels into the harmonic application of intent, not the harmonic application, the harmonic application of integrity. Pardon me, the harmonic application of integrity, and that becomes like the foundational structure of intent. And then intent actually solidifies the structure of perfection. And so I find that's the way that the free-flowing energy of, the resonant tone moves into that more sturdy kind of internal dynamic of energy that is, I don't want to say solidify, but it's kind of like it's created kind of a lasting form. Very much like how tone 4 definition, I find tone 4, tone 8, and tone 12 all have a very similar dynamic. While tone 4, self-existing, tone 8, galactic, and tone 12, crystal, each represent a different kind of form, where little pause there, where the self-existing tone really represents how it's coming into form, where the galactic tone represents how it's sustaining or achieving its integrity, and tone 12 is the very crystallization, or like the it becomes universalized. That universalized, it's like, wow, it's so integrated. It's pretty much like a universal creation principle at that time. It's pretty much beyond perfect, considering perfection is actually at the state 2 stages before crystallization kind of energy. So I find that's really very, very unique. And so we have the energy of the galactic tone, which then is helping, it's allowing the foundation for intent to move, and then that intent really creates the planetary tone, which is perfection. And so that's tomorrow. And so today is really that beautiful navigation in where we can direct intent. And so the navigator, the map reader, map maker, which I find the earth, which is, I find very a definitive quality of the warrior. And they both kind of share that same kind of question mark kind of vibe to them, which in some way is like an energy coming from the unknown, almost like thought in a way. And while the warrior represents like questing and motion towards a thing, it's almost like in some way the earth is the mind of the warrior. And it's the mind because it represents the complex internal terrain of that which seeks kind of energy. And so in this respect, that which seeks is defined by integrity, and that complex mental imagery or that complex mental terrain is then defined today by intent. So there we go. I think that's a really good one here. And so stay tuned for the affirmation.